Hello, this is Paul Daly. Immigration is a very controversial topic. Some say it's bad for our country, some say it's good. Save your opinion until you hear some of the facts. The main question being asked here is should the United States increase the number of immigrants who are allowed to legally enter our country? And before you start to think about that, let me just explain what immigration is. Immigration is the international movement of people into a destination country of which they are not natives or where they do not possess citizenship in order to settle or reside there. Taking this into account, think of all the different problems that this issue may bring up. This is an issue mainly by illegal immigration, and some of the things people like to say about it are that it takes jobs, that these illegal immigrants are criminals, and that they don't pay taxes. The increased number of crimes, domestic terrorism increased, and this problem is very hard to pick a side with. It's all about perspective. On one hand, immigration could be bad, and on the other, it could be good. So, in order to further explain this, this video has a strong argument against these problems.
Immigrants. A word that's too often followed by
criminals, illegal immigrant criminals. They've got to respect American law.
They do not pay taxes.
And they're taking your jobs.
perceptions or facts. Let's take a look at what the numbers tell us. First assertion: immigrants increase the crime rate. Sure, an estimated 11 million undocumented immigrants are in violation of American immigration policies. But overall, FBI data shows that over a span of 20 years, crime has dropped. Violent crime in particular has almost halved, all while the undocumented immigrant population tripled. Last year, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement removed 139,368 undocumented immigrants that were previously convicted of a crime. Then there's the view that undocumented immigrants are taking jobs from Americans. It's argued they're willing to accept lower wages and poor working conditions. But the data shows it may be more about skills. It's estimated that 8.1 million undocumented immigrants are working or looking for work, which is about 5.1% of the nation's labor force. Yet, in specific jobs like farming, cleaning and maintenance, and construction, undocumented workers make up much larger percentages of each sector. And they're more likely to do those jobs because they don't necessarily require fluency in English or a high school or college diploma. Because 47% of undocumented immigrants have less than a high school education, while only 8% of U.S.-born residents have not graduated from high school. That's why native-born, low-skilled workers are likely to be cashiers, truck drivers, and waiters. So what about the claim that undocumented immigrants aren't paying any taxes? Well, they actually pay more than $11 billion each year in sales, property, and income taxes. Wait, income tax? That's right. Many undocumented immigrants have ITIN numbers and feed into the tax system that way. And if the U.S. legalized all those immigrant statuses, the additional taxes they would pay would be an estimated $2 billion for roads, schools, and services. That's more than some tax-avoiding Americans, right?
So, information regarding the video shows crime rate has dropped as immigration population grew, which shows the immigration population growing is irrelevant to crime rate, even though many would argue against it. The data showed jobs were more focused on skills and how these immigrants they're not fluent in the language and they're not educated enough for most jobs inside of the labor force groups, and they take up the labor force in just certain areas such as waiters and construction workers. But it also showed that they pay a good portion of the tax, which all these facts sort of go against the idea of immigrants being bad for our country because it shows they are paying taxes, and even though most are illegal who are doing coming into the country illegally, which is definitely against the rules, but they're still doing their part. And if we were to legalize these people, then they could pay even more taxes. I think it was about $2 billion more a year. and that's huge. That those could be going towards things in our economy. It's very important. Um, so it's all, I'd say in all, to wrap this together, um, this problem is all about perspective, and you need to think of it in your point of view. It's very hard to pick a side with all this. Immigration could be affecting our economy, our crime rate, and job opportunities. But when you look at the facts, they're really not affecting them drastically. It's more people blowing things up, blowing things out of proportion, just to get things that they want. Um, if you're starving, if you and your family is in a dangerous environment, you'd do anything to get your family safe. In this case, it could be Mexico, with the drug cartels and an unsafe environment for kids, not good education, not a very good education, living in poverty, and you want to get your family or you in a better surrounding with more opportunities. And in order to do this, you need to immigrate. And if you can't immigrate to the United States, then you're going to do it illegally. And that's why people started being more aware of all these problems once they realized, all these people are here illegally, undocumented. So, yeah, that's what you really just got to think about. What if it were you? What if it were your family? And then think about coming here illegally. So that's my take on immigration. And overall, I think the United States increasing the number of immigrants allowed to legally enter our country would be a good thing. But you heard the facts for and against it. What do you think?